Hello again. Anybody visiting a hospital in this country these days will know that white British staff are, shall we say, no longer the majority. The chances of encountering a doctor who is a white British man are negligible, and there is often a language problem, both in understanding the doctors and nurses and getting them to understand you. I might mention in passing that hardly any of the patients one sees in hospitals seem to be white British people either these days, but that is a separate matter. There's a serious problem with having so many foreigners working in our health service, and it's such a simple one that I really wonder that nobody talks about it. I wonder how many viewers saw the case of the Iranian woman in the north of England who has been employed as a doctor by the National Health Service for 20 years. Her name is Zolia Alimi. She's currently on trial, and the prosecution claims that she was never a doctor at all and had simply forged her qualifications gained abroad and taken a chance on the General Medical Council not checking. I give a link to this case in the description to this video. Is it an isolated case? I suspect that it's anything but, and I'll explain why in a moment. In the meantime, have a look at the second link I provide, which is a list of hearings to be held this month by the Nursing and Midwifery Council. They are investigating claims of misconduct and lack of competence on the part of nurses and midwives. A quick look at the names of those facing hearings soon show that a very large number of them appear to be foreign. Is this coincidental? Of course not, any more than the fact that a disproportionately high number of foreign doctors face allegations which result in their also having to turn up to hearings to see what they've been up to. The explanation is, of course, laughably simple. If I arrive in Britain and claim that I qualified as a doctor in some obscure place, perhaps a Nigerian medical school in Kaduna or something, and have documents to back up my claim, then there's a good chance that nobody will check, as long as the certificates and so on look convincing. Even if somebody does want to check, then this is not easy. Telephoning the hospital or medical school might not work because of the language difficulties. Emails may not reach the right person, or perhaps the person posing as a doctor has a friend working at the hospital who will aid his fraud. Then again, he might be flying under false colours and have adopted the identity of somebody who genuinely did qualify as a doctor in Africa. The staff at that Nigerian hospital will honestly confirm that somebody of that name did qualify there as a doctor. They just don't realise that the person making the application for a job in London isn't the person who qualified. This kind of thing is far less likely to succeed if I pretend, say, that I qualified as a doctor at Barts in London. There will be extensive and accurate records of everything to do with such a thing. And of course, my references will also be easy to check. Much easier than if I give references for jobs that I supposedly held in Somalia or Iran. For this reason, there are many bogus doctors and nurses working in this country. Even those who are not bogus but actually qualified in Egypt or Tanzania might not be up to British standards in either speaking English or practicing medicine. I'm not, of course, saying anything here that everybody, including every hospital in the country, doesn't already know. I wonder how many viewers have found that their confidence in foreign medical staff is not great. Quite a few, I'll be bound. There has been a lot of debate about how to improve the National Health Service, but if I could suggest one thing which would make it more pleasant to me and increase my confidence in the service I receive from it, it would be to know that when I visited my doctor or went to the hospital, I would meet only staff who had been born and raised in this country and who spoke ordinary English just as well as I did. The fact that these people have been trained in this country would reassure me too. Hand on heart, don't worry about being accused of racism for a moment. How many of those watching this video would prefer a white British doctor trained in this country to any other sort? Quite a few, I strongly suspect.